All right, peace. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. Giving double honors to 7130 South Chicago that taught me this truth. Giving double honors to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has walking in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. All right, brothers and sisters, I want to go into some hood news that's been, floating around with different artists, different producers, and things of this nature in the so-called Negro community. That every time you look at us, instead of us coming together as a group of people or a nation, we always at odds with each other. And a lot of times we don't even realize the game that is being played on us. See, we some of the most remarkable, talented people on the face of this planet, but we can't see the greatness within ourselves is because we continue to go at one another. So let's go a little bit backwards. This situation, I'm looking at Death to the Clout Chasers podcast, and they was talking about the situation that happened between, multiple situations. They're talking about Jay Prince. They're talking about, I think, FBG Butta out here in Chicago, where I'm from. Wack 100, right? And I want to go to the situation that happened with Shakur Stevenson. How Camron and them was basically critiquing his fight, saying that he's boring. And I would agree because, and look, he don't have to be a knockout puncher because I know boxing, like, all he had to do is just throw his hands, And a lot of times he doesn't do that is because he's more or less, to me, a defensive fighter or a counter puncher. You know what I'm saying? He waits for people to miss and things of this nature, but, a lot of times his fights is not exciting. And I think Shakur is at a point in his career where he's probably a little bit frustrated because he's trying to fight against the best fighters, but he's not getting the entry into the door is because he doesn't have a major fan base. And he's not really entertaining when he gets into the ring. He does enough to win, So Camron and Mase, they spoke about that. They spoke about that and they gave their honest opinion about his performance and him as a boxer. It wasn't personal, but that they are a podcast or a sports podcast themselves, and they critique sports. So this thing has gotten really out of hand, and now Jay Prince is involved. He's throwing shots at Camron and Mase. And Camron and Mase, they turn around and they got to defend themselves, verbally against the bully tactics of Jay Prince, And then you got Wack 100. He's he's saying his little stuff that he's saying. But a lot of them don't really understand is that when we don't see each other as brothers, we'll kill each other like we strangers, right? I was gonna go into some scriptures, but I don't even need to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that the next time. I'm going to just talk about this situation. See, because when I listen to these guys, it's nothing but a bowl of confusion. You know, they may try to do business with each other, but the next thing you know, they fall out over the littlest things, you know. Instead of them going behind the scenes and talking about certain situations without fighting and things of this nature and hashing things out, we use social media or we say things on wax to antagonize and go after other people. And see, when we look at the Israelite in captivity, he got to be exemplifying these type of characteristics. This is how we know that these folks, or our people, the so-called African Americans, are the natural and the spiritual seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because we fit the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? I was going to go to no scriptures, but I got to go to a scripture, right? And this is dealing with our history, right? So let's look at Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? Let's look at this real quick. 1 second. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, and I'm going to start reading at I'm going to start at the 35th verse. It says, no, I'm going to start at 36. I'm going to start at 36 and 37. It says, and Yah shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation, neither which thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other powers or other Elohims, wood and stone. And see, when you look at our people today, this is what we doing. Because the Israelite got to be in a certain type of condition. See, the people over there that's in Jerusalem today, these are not the original people. The original people, or the descendants of those people, are over here in America scattered abroad. See, we against one another. And see, back then, we still do it today. We serve God's wood and stone. As you can see, Mase got the Jesus piece on. That's not our God. Our people weren't worshiping those gods back then. Well, let me take that back. They were, but they was called by different pantheons. See? So what I'm saying is that who is the new people that we serving like they wood and stone? It's the industry. See, because the industry is like a god to our people. This is why we get on the internet and we act a fool towards one another. Why? For content. See? For content. To get all those views and things of this nature. And let me hit you with something. All of this arguing that these guys are doing on radio and stuff like that, some of that stuff may not even be true. Some of it could be things that they both have come up with for content. They want 1 million subscribers. What do people want to see today? They want to see drama. They want to see envy, strife, and things of this nature. They want to see people going back and forth with each other. They want to see Wack 100 shoot another black man. They want to see Mase and Camron shoot another black man. See, this is the mentality that our people is in. Let's look at this. 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword amongst all nations, rather Yael shall lead thee. And what is a proverb and a byword? What is that? You're not called Israel no more. See, you the African American, you the colored man. See, you the Caribbean, all this type of stuff. And why do they say you an astonishment? This is what the nations think about us as a nation of people. See, when they look at us, they say, look how great these people are. They do music, they go triple, quadruple platinum, right? They go quadruple platinum. But look how stupid that they act in the media. They're not noble people. See? They don't have no structure. They act like savages. What else do they say about our people? They say things like, what type of man will allow another man, right? What type of man will create a music genre, right? Russell Simmons and all these guys, right? They didn't create rap, but they brought rap to the big leagues. And then the big leagues turn around and take over the music industry. What type of people will allow a person to come in a neighborhood and exploit them? That's the so-called black man. And then he will take $1 million, they getting $1 billion, just so he can go back to the neighborhood and wear all these expensive chains and drive these foreign cars, right? To mess on his people. You know, I don't want to say no cuss word, but that's a people that's an astonishment. What type of people will set up an educational system? What type of people will allow another folks to set up an educational system in their community, and then we send our kids to these schools to be taught by the same person that told us that we was nothing, that the black man was a savage that lived in a jungle of a subhuman level? See? This is what we looking at. And they also say this too, you know. Look how great these people are. And all they do is argue and fight amongst each other. They ain't nothing but savages that got on clean shirts. They ain't nothing but savages that got $1 million shirts on, $1 million gym shoes, clothes, and things of this nature. They still got a savage behavior. They create a podcast, right? And then they go on the podcast acting like hooligans. They say FBG Butta, you know, from Chicago, he's scared to go on No Jumper. Why he scared to go on No Jumper? Because Wack 100 and his crew, or the people he associated with, they gonna put hands on that boy. What is that? That's black on black crime. Why is that type of behavior put out here on social media? It's because that is the new drug. See, back in the day, the so-called white man put drugs in the neighborhood to destroy the so-called black man. But now one of the drugs that's in our neighborhood today, they got instead of the old people hook, they got the young kid hook is what? Sex, money, and murder. See? Rap. Entertainment. This is the new drug today. And who are some of the people that's promoting it? It's these individuals that's on television. What is another drug that they promoting? Violence. See, violence is a hell of a drug. Because when you got individuals that don't understand who they are from a nationalistic standpoint of view, and then when they look at their own people, they can't see themselves in their people. Because why? Because the Caucasian has broke down the family structure. So when we looking at Wack 100, Camron, and all the rest of these folks going back and forth with each other, see, this is an astonishment, a proverb and a bad word. What is a proverb? Proverb and a bad word is symbolic of what? See, you're not going to call yourself the nation of Israel anymore. See, you the nigga. You the colored man. See, you a real ass nigga. That's the mentality that our people have today. And that's a savage behavior. See? That's a savage behavior. The 48th verse says, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yah shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst. What does that mean? Our people today, they serve the white man. Let's not get this confused. Wack 100, J Prince, Camron, Mase, all of these people, they got you under the illusion that they're independent. They're not independent of nothing. They're nothing but modern day drug dealers that's in the neighborhood confusing the youth. Because they confused. They came from an era where it was violence and drugs, and now they have created something on television where they can be what? Teachers of the next generation to take on that same what? Curriculum that has been taught to them. And what they been taught? They've been taught violence. They've been taught slander. They've been taught murder. Did you hear Wack 100? He was on the call or whatever, and he was saying, he was talking to the guys, talking about, he told one guy, don't play with him. Because if you play with him, you're going to play, then you're going to be playing with your life. See, you see how cheap it is to kill our people? But where was this guy at when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin? Where's the gangster at then? Where's the gangster when our young kids are getting killed out here in these streets? Where's the gangsters at? See, where's J Prince? Where's Wack 100? Where's the Camrons? Where's what's his name? I can't think of his name. Big U. See, where's these guys at? All of these guys are nothing but distraction in the community that's doing what? That's destroying the youth. That's why these young guys don't have no mindset, is because, see, when you take the father out of the household and you introduce him to drugs, pimping, right? Gang banging, not being responsible, taking care of their kids, what happens? You leave a generation of kids to raise themselves. And see, Wack 100, Mase, and Camron, all that, J Prince, a lot of them guys are destroyed individuals. And that's all they doing is destroying the younger youth. J Prince was he was questioned by the community of killing I think his name Takeoff, or having somebody kill him from the Migos over an argument, a dice game. See, life is cheap with these people. The 54th verse of the 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. See, when we look at each other today, Wack 100 don't look at me as his brother. I don't look at Wack 100 as my brother. See, we hate one another. And this is the mentality that the other nations love. They love this mentality. They love that Jay Prince is quote unquote going back and forth with Charleston White. Charleston White is going back and forth with everybody, right? Wack 100 is going back and forth with everybody. And who's making all the money and who is destroying the community? The other nations is making all the money and you destroying your generation. But we don't see that. It's because why? We don't look at each other as brothers and sisters, no, because why? We have been reduced to a proverb and a bad word, brothers and sisters. I'm going to hit you with this scripture, and then I'm going to end it. Check this out. 1 Peter 5 and 8. It says, be sober and vigilant. And see, you know, they tell you this. We all know this. You drinking, you drinking liquor and things of this nature at an alarming rate. You shouldn't drink and drive. Or you shouldn't drink, period. Because why? You don't have a grasp on reality. So when it says be sober and vigilant, a lot of these guys is drunk, y'all. They drunk with the philosophy and teaching of the American system. They not paying attention to what's going on. Wack is on the phone talking about how he told another man don't play such and such on the internet or you gonna play with your life. So I get into an argument with you or I do certain things, this is the first thing that you gonna do is you gonna kill me. But that's the mentality of our people today because why? We have been destroyed. It says be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. See? Because the American system, the American government is under the influence of the devil. See? And they're using the entertainment and this YouTube as a device to continue to destroy the so-called Negro, which is the natural and the spiritual seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace and shalom.